You are now live on air.
Hello, folks. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound on the Detecting Lifestyle Radio Network. I am your host, Josh Kimmel, aka Treasure Seeker. Minute or two late, but, we'll get by. Kind of lost track of time there a little bit. Sorry about that, but, we appreciate all the wonderful listeners who have tuned in, whether it is from the internet or from the confines of your smartphone that may not be so smart. We're out, we're broadcasting, and we are live. Detectapalooza 2014. It's coming up, folks. August 22nd, 23rd, 24th in Chicago. The Chicago Gathering. Pull tabs, beware. They have been taking shirt orders. I believe these shirts are also available for purchase on Zazzle, possibly. Check the Facebook Detectapalooza 2014 page for that information. We have had a few more people confirm that they are going. I believe we're up to 30 or so now. It should be good to see everybody. Should be a lot of camaraderie there and some good stories to share, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody. I myself will be there. Just so long as I can get my gear all stuffed in a bag that's small enough to reach Amtrak's regulations. Detector, not so much of a problem, but try putting a full-size stainless steel beach scoop in a bag. Good thing mine breaks down into two pieces, I guess. We'll see how it goes. But we're going to attempt to do this without any further glitches. Myself, as well as the Detecting Lifestyle, have been trying to get to the bottom of these. They're becoming a real pain in the ass. But we're working with them. We're trying different things. I've tweaked the computer a little bit over the week, so hopefully we should be okay. We'll give it a shot. We'll hope for the best. And if all else fails, we'll drop back and punt. But on to other things. Last week, Digger Charlie and Stealth Diggers. Man, Charlie was just a blast to talk to. I had such a great time talking with him. He's a really great guy. Gonna have to have him back again. As well as some of the other Stealth Diggers from that little tight-knit group of friends that go out hunting with him, with Faceless George, Just Bob, Mr. Keebler. That guy is just a hoot to watch on the videos. Love watching them. Very enjoyable videos. If you all haven't checked out any of Stealth Diggers' videos, you can find them by searching YouTube for Stealth Diggers. And if you're on Facebook, drop into the Stealth Diggers group. Check them out. Tell them I said hi. Great group of guys there. But speaking of Stealth Diggers and Digger Charlie, tonight's guest, we've actually got another friend of Charlie's on that this is kind of an interesting twist for me because I've followed his YouTube videos since shortly after he made his appearance on YouTube a couple of years ago. He was under the name of J Mo at that point and got caught in the Google Plus merger and changed his name to the NH Treasure Hunter. Jay is, he's quite an interesting character and a real personality. His videos are very, very good. And he got into the hobby, we'll say, under a little different twist than what I'm used to hearing. And we'll let him tell us about that when he comes in. But he had got into the hobby, and shortly after coming in, he found his first good find, a 1907 Indian head scent, I believe. And he was just hooked at that point. Shortly after that, he started doing his videos, his ADD kicked in, and he couldn't sit still. He's very, very creative. And he started to do more with his videos, modifications to his machines, putting a lighting system on to the display of his Ace 250 when he ran it, wireless headphones set up for his detectors, even his own style of diggers that he refers to as wicked diggers. He is also the originator, if people haven't seen it, of the, and hopefully I don't butcher this, the chain reaction giveaway contest on YouTube, which he can explain that to us when he comes in. And is known as well for his signature sign-off of Swing Beep Dig. Fellow cigar aficionado, and he has a great passion for the hobby, really enjoys getting out and enjoying the hobby, and actually has the added benefit that he enjoys the hobby many times along with his mother, who also likes to detect and does her fair share of getting permission for properties as well. A lot of these properties are probably 200 plus year old properties, so he's in a great area that's steeped in history. But rather than me kind of running on about this, we should just bring him in and let him explain it for himself, because nobody's going to tell the story like he can. Jay is just great to talk to, so let's bring him in now, folks. How's it going, Jay?
What's up, my diggers? How you doing, Josh?
All right. The signature video entrance. Speaking of videos, I got to say, I saw where you uploaded a video this morning on your YouTube channel that you were being interviewed live tonight. Very nice touch. That was cool.
Oh, thank you. I just figured I'd, try and do a little bit of something to help the show out, because, you drag on a huge celebrity like myself, you're going to have tens of people listening, so I figured, why not reach out as many as I can?
That's right. We're liable to get the phone lines just swarmed with people wanting autographs.
I heard some applause when you introduced me, so I was happy to hear that, too.
There you go. Well, our listeners are a very good bunch of people, so, and I'm sure that we've probably got quite a number of the Stealth Diggers group listening in tonight.
Oh, yeah.
As a matter of fact, with you not being involved with Facebook, you wouldn't have seen this earlier, but I do have a question to ask you from Digger Charlie that,
oh, God, okay.
that I will bring up a little later in the show. But
I can't wait.
For the time being, though, why don't you take a minute and explain to our listeners, who is J Mo? How did he get involved in the hobby? What bit him? Did you wake up one day and say, "Oh, hey, I want to do metal detecting"?
Well, not exactly. My parents had, well, they still have it. They had a a white classic that they bought upwards of 12 years ago now. And I was always interested and always wanted to, go grab it from them and hit the woods and just see what was out there. Never really actually did it. And then one day I was talking to a guy I know, and he was kind of hard up for cash, and he wanted to borrow some money. And I told him I wasn't going to loan him any money because he never pays anybody back. He had to have some sort of collateral for me that was, worth the money.
Right.
And,
I'd like to help you out.
Yeah. All he could think of was he had a plastic case full of wireless, digital, high-definition home security cameras.
Oh.
And, they transmit to a little router that goes to your TV, and you can watch it, and, if you had a DVR hooked up, you could record or whatever. And he showed me sales receipts where he paid somewhere around $400 for the set, and he was looking for $200, and I reached into my pocket, and I said, I've got $60. And he said, sold. So I took the cameras and gave him the $60, and being that I had no use for cameras or, no real interest in setting them up all over my apartment where I was at the time, I put them on Craigslist on the barter section just to see, what would happen. And I had a bunch of offers, people offering me, I'll give you a chainsaw, or I'll give you a bicycle or an RC car or whatever. And then this one gentleman offered me a Garrett H250. And, I had to Google what a Garrett H250 was, of course, because I didn't know anything about metal detectors at the time. And, saw the retail price of them and said, that sounds like a fair trade. Being a little skeptical of the scenario and trading with somebody, I had to drive 45 minutes out to go check out this metal detector. And he gave me an address to meet him at, and it was the parking lot of a police station. So my alarms went off thinking I was involved in a sting operation and these cameras were stolen or something.
Right, going, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah. So I called the guy because I hadn't seen him. It'd been I'd been waiting there for like 10 minutes. So I gave him a call, and he said, "Yeah, I'm pulling in right now." And he pulls in with the cruiser, and he's in uniform. So I'm like, oh, what's going to go on now?
Yeah, but really. At that point, you're thinking, oh, wait a minute, what am I getting myself into?
Yeah. So it turned out to be legit. And I gave him the cameras, and I got the detector. He gave me a brief rundown of how to use it and everything. And of course, the next day I was in my front yard trying to, see what I could find, and I could see the bottle cap, and I'd throw some coins down or whatever. But my first actual hunt was at my parents' house, which is the house I grew up in, and up in the backyard, right at the tree line. I got a penny signal, and I dug it, and it was my first actual hunt, my first actual significant find, besides a couple of rusty nails and a piece of wire, was a 1907 Indian head penny.
Nice.
Yeah, and I had never in my life actually seen an Indian head penny at that point. And my father had a collection of Wheaties, and he's got some silvers and all that stuff just from pocket change. But,
so at that point, it's a penny, but you're going, but what is it?
Yeah, I'd never seen, it looked familiar, but I don't remember ever seeing one. Maybe my grandfather showed me one when I was a kid or something like that. But, so my mom got real excited at that point. She thought we struck it rich. We found this old penny that's going to be worth millions of dollars, and, turns out it was, it's worth about $3. So,
right.
But that started the bug, and from there, being that I do have ADD, I started watching hours and hours and hours and hours of other people's videos of their hunts and what they find and stuff like that. And I was making comments, like anybody starting out on YouTube does. You make comments on their videos and stuff. And, basically a lot of the bigger guys are sitting there, and I was telling them some of the stuff that I found on my last hunt. And they're, saying what YouTubers say, either have a video or it never happened. So I went out and I got a $40, regular digital camera off of Craigslist and switched it to the video part and started recording my videos and posting them up on my page, on my channel.
So they're all kind of telling you, look, it's like the show me state, but worldwide, show us.
Exactly. They're not going to, They don't want to believe it. I found it. Let's see it. I want to see it. I want to see it.
And sometimes, like, for me, many times, if I can't get out and hunt or whatever, YouTube is my go-to option then. If I'm not out there finding, at least I can see other people out there finding.
Well, that's me all winter long up here in New Hampshire. You know, I don't have much to do metal detecting in the dead of winter, so I just catch up. You know, the time I would normally be out hunting, I spend on YouTube watching other people's videos, catching up on what I missed, you know, throughout the season, or what they're able to do, and, you know, getting a little jealous and getting a little stir crazy and cabin fever, but, you know, I just love the hobby.
Well, yeah, and it is, YouTube can be kind of a double-edged sword like that. You watch so many and it's like, oh, I can't stand it anymore, I gotta get out and try to look for something.
Yep. Yeah, I've got videos where I'm out in the snow trying to find something at the local playground, knowing that, you know, there's no more kids playing there, but, you know, there's 6-8 inches of snow on the ground, but damn it, I'm going to try and find something.
Right. Just going, well, they couldn't have found everything. There's got to be something out there I can get yet.
Exactly. Yeah, you're hoping for the ring that Mama dropped when she was, you know, helping the kid on the swing or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's a good spot to look for stuff like that, too.
Absolutely.
And
yep,
then,
at the bottom of Flooding Hill, too.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then once you got your video camera,
yeah,
you started doing these videos, but then you started to get a little creative.
Well, I mean, a lot of people have complimented me on my format of videos, the way I you know, start with an intro type monologue and then go to all my finds that are all cleaned up and ready to show, and then amongst showing what I've found, you know, I'll cut and paste a live dig. And I didn't do that out of creativity. I did that out of sheer boredom with my own videos, because, I mean, I would upload it just like normal. You know, you have you know, your first start of the video is you walk into your site and, you know, you're talking or whatever, and then each little clip after that, and then a roundup at the end, which a lot of people still do, and it's
Right.
fine for me to watch someone else's. It's okay. I don't mind that. I got bored with my own, watching my own videos, and
Yeah.
I realized that, you know, I can take this clip, you know, it's its own little clip, because I started recording and ended recording, so it's its own little clip, and I can just splice the video here and drag it and drop it right in there. And for me, it made the video on playback on my end, it made it interesting enough to where I could sit there and watch the whole 8, 10, 12, 15 minutes of my own video and not get bored with my own video. And I got, like I said, I got a lot of people complimenting the way I did it. I've even had, there's been several people have asked me, you know, do you mind if I do that? Do you mind if I do it? A couple people have done it. And I, you know, it's like anything. I may have been the first one to do it, but I didn't invent, you know, splicing and editing a video. You know, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like watching the news. You know, the guy will sit there and talk at the desk, and boom, they'll cut to the reporter on scene, and he'll show you the scene of what he's dealing with, and then boom, they'll cut back to the guys, you know, the anchors on the desk, and continue on with a different story. It's kind of the
Right.
same way I thought of it. You know, here's the dig. Look, this is what I found. Here it is, and then, you know, back and forth.
Right. And I have done that myself a few times. I've kind of gotten away from it a little bit lately, and I've been looking to mix it back up again somehow. I may be going back to that a little myself, but your videos are
Yeah.
very well put together.
Well, thank you.
Not a problem.
I'm by no means technically savvy as far as having, you know, high-grade equipment or paid-for software or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at the computer I use to do all my uploads, and it's about as beat up as they get without working. I've had to, the charging plug broke off, so I had to solder it back to the cable, and the screen went dead on me, so I had to smash it a couple of times to get it to work, and it's been dropped and kicked and thrown, and it still works, but, you know, again, it's nothing, it's not fancy.
Right. I'm only as smart as the software I put the video in to edit it with, basically.
Pretty much, and the video editing software I use is what came with Windows, so it's nothing, it's nothing that I didn't go to, Best Buy or something like that and buy this expensive, video editing program.
Right. But it seems to work very well for you. You've done well
right
with them. And you've actually been able to use this format to show your creativity in other means too, with your machine modifications, digger modifications, even helping other YouTube members repair items.
That's right. Yeah, I've done a couple of repairs. One of them was another guy who's in town here. He had a bounty hunter, an old bounty hunter analog machine that he wanted to give to one of the kids that lives in his neighborhood. He used to follow him around, and the coil was junk. The plug was bad. So, I mean, I'd been into CB radio when I was younger for many years, and I used to wire up mics all the time and, do all kinds of little repairs on that stuff. So, rewiring up the plug on the end of this bounty hunter was not a big deal. But I figured, hey, make a video, maybe it'll help somebody.
Right. Yeah, and I've seen you do it with the Garrett Pro Pointers.
Matter of fact, the
button
pointer
issue.
I still use. Yep. The buttons are garbage on those things. And I had traded with a gentleman who has officially asked me to plug his channel for him on this show.
Oh!
Jet Ski John 2006. I believe you know him.
And who was that again?
Jet Ski John 2006.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, out in England. And he had contacted me after watching one of my, technical videos or DIYs or whatever, and asked me if I could help him fix the power button on his Pro Pointer because it broke. And I says, well, I can try, but I don't know, shipping from there to here is like $15, so back and forth, that's $30,
Right.
And he's like, well, how about a trade? So I offered him one of my handcrafted wicked diggers, and he had already, his girlfriend, which is Jackie Smith, she was the first one to ever get one of my wicked diggers because they had posted a video where she broke her digger, and they were trying like a mason's trowel and all this other crap, and nothing was working right for her before she got a proper digger. So I offered her one of mine in hopes to, they'd give me the shout out on their channel for my channel and whatnot.
Right.
So, yeah, I ended up trading with John for this broken Pro Pointer, and it came to me in a baggie with, nothing but pieces. He had pulled the circuit board out far enough that he snapped the coil wires off of it. So, it was just soldering. I had to solder it all back together, and I put an external switch on the outside and glued that on and taped it up, and I'm still using it today.
Oh, wow. Well, then that brings to light an interesting question, because a lot of the people who have used the Pro Pointers have spoke quite a bit about it having an issue of falsing.
Yeah.
Now, since you've went through and, like, say, with the one you reconnected the coil wires to, you put your replacement switch in, have you noticed, does it false anymore?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, that was the one of the reasons that was the demise to his Pro Pointer was it started falsing on him, and out of frustration he starts getting mad at this thing and just mashing the button and ended up breaking it sooner than it would have. It probably would have broke a day later anyway. But upon receiving it, I took the circuit board out and I was looking at it, and there is a little micro button on the circuit board, and I've been told that is like a master reset button, that you have to have it apart, put the battery in, turn it on, and then press and hold that button, and it resets back to factory. I guess they tend to stray off of their accuracy over long periods of time, and they're susceptible to moisture, depending on your hunting conditions. And once they get off track, they basically hold their memory. Yeah, they hold their memory of being off track, so you got to reset them. And I haven't had a problem with this thing, and I think I've been using it for a little over a year now, and I've yet to have a problem.
Wow. Now that right there is excellent information in its own right. If that happens to take care of the falsing issue for people, that's great.
Yeah. I mean, I've never had a pro pointer false on me and try this that actually fixed it. Like I said, he said it was falsing, on his end, and when I got it, it was already in pieces, so I couldn't test it,
Right.
beforehand.
But that does make for some interesting food for thought, though.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the first one that I fixed. I fixed another one too for another guy that a couple of us may have heard of out in Scotland, which is relic hunting Scotland. His name is Dave.
Right.
And I got a lot of flack from, actually most recently, just last week, I got some flack in a comment, from a guy who didn't agree with the way I had repaired this thing, And basically, I was given a challenge, so to speak, a technical challenge from Dave. He gave me his broken pinpointer with the button all in pieces, and he went out and bought a switch that he thought would be suitable for the job and sent the switch out too, And being that it was, going to be a low-budget repair, I used the switch that he gave me, and I repaired it, and it worked just fine, and I sent it out to him, but this guy goes through equipment like you would not believe. I mean, if a pro pointer would last you and me, 5 years before it actually wears out, this guy can wear out a frickin' pro pointer in 3 months. Just down to the
yeah,
nut.
I remember that video. The tip was very, very wore down.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it's a wonder he hadn't worn through the shielding.
He was close to it. He was close to it, and like I said, I sent it back to him, and he used it for several hunts after that, and then he was getting frustrated with the Garrett performance on the pro pointer because this guy goes out 12 hours a day, 5-6 days a week. So I mean, he gets in more detecting in a week than most of us get in a year,
Right.
So he switched over and started using the Mind Lab pinpointer that they have,
Okay.
and he did a comparison between the two and everything like that, and he ended up just breaking down and buying a brand new Garrett Pro pointer, and he's been using the brand new one ever since. Now that he's got those little protector things on there.
Oh, so the skins do help.
Apparently, yeah. I mean, like I said, if you want to test a piece of equipment, give it to this guy, and if he can't wear it out or break it inside of a few months, you've got something that'll last years and years and years.
I see. Now, what brought on the concept of the Wicked Diggers? You were just sitting around one day and thought, hey, I need a different digger, and I'm just going to make it myself, or?
Yeah. I mean, I was using the common $10 Fisker, sawed knife, basically, that a lot of people still use. I still have mine. And again, watching other people's videos, and I'm watching a few different guys. I can't remember who, but they've got these, these little diggers that looks like just a piece of pipe, that's been cut up the middle, split wide open, to give a nice curve to it, and then fancy edges put on it, and the point put on it, and the handle stuck on it. And I'm looking at these things, and I looked them up online, and they weren't very expensive. They're like $15-20, And I says, you know what? I'm that kind of guy, I'm not going to go out and pay for something if I can do it myself. So
Right.
I said, all right, I went over to Home Depot, and I'm looking at all the different types of pipe and what's going to be easiest to do it with. And I grabbed some 5/8 electrical conduit, and I bought a small piece at first. And then I bought some bicycle handle grips from Walmart, and went to work in the garage, and just basically I just literally took a whiz wheel, a cutting blade, and just sliced it right up the seam that these things have, and pried it open, with a pry bar, and then got on there with, it's all in my other videos that I have too, how I do it. I just pry it open with some basically adjustable wrenches that fit snugly on the metal, and open it up, take my grinder and cut some teeth on either side and sharpen the tip up and put the handle on it, and away we go.
And thus they were born.
Thus the Wicked Digger was born. Yep. And now I've got Wicked Diggers in, let's see, Scotland, England. Obviously, I've got a few here in New Hampshire with me and my family. Who else has got one? Super Drew has one. He sliced his finger open on his the first time he used it.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, they're I've got a few of them all over the place, And I actually put my first big contest for the Chain Reaction giveaway contest, which is on part 8, by the way, now. Actually, yeah, part 8. I believe Treasure Jack just won it off of Lost and Found Metal Detecting.
Oh, so, good deal. I know Jack. He's a good guy.
Yeah. He just won, and there's still. I offered up my first offering was 2 Wicked Diggers, and the premise behind the contest is I started it with 2 Wicked Diggers, and I ran my contest, and whoever won, and I'm sorry, but I can't remember who won the first contest, but whoever won, I shipped out both Wicked Diggers to them. And their end of the deal is they promise to make another contest video. They get to keep one of the prizes. They have to add their own prize to the pot, making, again, 2 prizes. It can be a prize pack or whatever. And then they run their own video contest and, subsequent drawing, of which the next person wins, gets 2 prizes. They pick one that they want and add their own and keep it going. And it's worked out really well so far. But surprisingly, I mean, there's still a Wicked Digger in this contest after part 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
So apparently some of the other winners are including some pretty nice prizes.
Oh man, it's gotten to be like it's gotten to be somewhat of a challenge, The idea was to try and have this contest, see if it would branch off into other genres on YouTube. I made the scenario that I don't care if you're into knitting and you end up winning this contest and you want to your prize is to add a set of gold-plated monogram knitting needles, and it reaches out to the knitting community. I wanted it to eventually go off into different areas. We've had let's see, one of the other guys that won, he added in a set of autographed poker cards from one of the biggest names in the poker world.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So we've got like coin collectors, preppers, silver stackers, the whole treasure world that basically is the only genre that it's still in at this point. But eventually, see how far it goes. Eventually, it might branch off into something else. Right.
It's a very good possibility. The way it's going, it sounds like it's just picking up momentum.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's one of those things that, and it helps bring us all, it helps bring a lot of different people together, because if you're watching this video of the drawing and the person that wins, you didn't win, but the person that did win, you didn't even know that their channel existed. Well, now you want to follow the contest.
Now you may be watching their videos.
Yeah, you're going to go watch their videos. You're going to subscribe to their channel, because that's one of the rules to enter the contest. You have to be a subscriber, So it ends up, helping other people out and getting some more subscriptions and some more, not so much just for the subscription part, but if you're doing something that other people are interested in, there may not be any other way for them to discover that you're finding stuff, or you live near them, or, you're using the same machine that they used. So, you're going to follow the contest and, end up subscribing to people you didn't even know were out there.
We're going to bring in a caller here. Go ahead, caller. Who do we have?
I can't believe I got through.
Yes, it's been awfully busy here. I've got a regular celebrity on with us tonight.
This is Saul.
Hello, caller.
This is Saul.
Who?
Saul.
Saul, how you doing, Saul?
I'm good. What I want to know.
Yeah.
What kind of cigars do you smoke?
What kind of cigars do I smoke? Well, I try with my budget. I really try to stick with the nice hand-rolled cigars that you get at nice cigar shops. One of the local brands we have around here that's been resurrected from the 40s and 50s is called 724.
Yeah.
My buddy Kurt, who owns a cigar shop one town over, has bought the rights to that cigar. But other than that, I mean, I like Macanudos a lot. I like I like all different kinds. There's a lot of Alec Bradleys and a lot of boutique cigars. But for my everyday smokes, like right now, I'm smoking something from the Vintage Cigar Company.
Yeah.
And they're out of the Dominican Republic, so they're imported and fairly locally available.
Now, did you know they're fighting
that?
they're fighting the Ebola with tobacco?
I'm sorry, what did he say, Josh?
They're fighting Ebola with tobacco.
Ebola?
Ebola.
In my tobacco?
No, they're fighting
Uh-oh.
it. They're making a cure.
Well, I don't like African cigars, and I'm not sure I'm a big fan of Ebola.
You know what?
But
I think I got you both.
I was trying to keep from laughing too hard there. I knew who it was, but I didn't know how long it'd take for Jay to pick up.
Oh, Jay, I just wanted to call and tell you that they're fighting Ebola with tobacco.
In tobacco?
Cigar smokers are all set. It can come and get us.
Well, I can fight it because alcohol kills Ebola, and I'm always drinking beer with my cigar, so I'm okay.
Oh, well, then I'm in the clear then.
So if anybody else hasn't figured out, it's Charlie on here. I just had to call to ask the question of cigars for Jay, so all the rest of the world.
I love you, Charlie.
I love you too, buddy.
You prick.
Great show. I'll let you go. I'm going back to my Saul impersonation, and thanks for the plug earlier there, Josh.
Hey, not a problem. Thanks for the call, Charlie. We've got
Sweet
another
dreams,
caller.
honey.
Do what?
It's sweet dreams, Charlie.
We've got another caller calling in here. We'll try to get them brought in, and we missed that caller. Apologies, caller. Go ahead and try to call back. We'll try to get you in there. Yeah, that was none other than Digger Charlie himself. Great guy to talk to, and really a barrel of laughs.
Oh, he's a hoot. He's fun to hunt with, too.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. His videos are just awesome. I love his videos. We've got another caller here we'll bring in. Go ahead, caller. You're on Beyond Sight and Sound with myself and Jay Moe, the NH Treasure Hunter.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hello.
Oh, pretty good. I'm just calling in to talk with the sexiest detectorists on the internet.
Hey, he's got to be talking about you, Jay.
That's me?
Yeah, this is Mr. Keebler. Mr. Keebler.
Oh,
here.
Mr. Keebler.
Mr. Keebler, what's up, buddy?
Not much. I got no internet at the venue I'm at, so I thought I'd call in and say howdy.
Howdy. How are you?
Good. So,
Awesome.
So what's going on?
Oh, this and that. Talking to my buddy Josh on the phone.
Right. Hi, Josh.
Well, hello there. How are you?
Drinking a beer.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wish I could, but I gotta wait till later.
Ah.
I'll drink
So it
one
was
for
really
you.
great. All right. It was really great this past weekend having you up, Jay. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, I had a blast. Thanks for having me out, man. I appreciate all your little properties, man. Those are great. Great places.
I saw that video, too. That looked like it was a good time.
Yeah.
It was. It certainly was. And having Jay on the video, that was a shoo-in to have all the female viewers chime in.
Oh, yeah, right?
Yeah.
And that big silver ring couldn't have hurt either.
My word, that was astonishing. Jay almost fell over backwards.
I'll bet.
But what the best part about it was towards the end of the day when I think we were on our way home, I was fiddling with it and I found out that it's a spinner ring.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I thought that was amazing.
And that's another nice thing about these YouTube videos is especially like watching yours, I'm able to kind of relive events in a sense. When you make your first finds, it's like, oh yeah, I remember when I found my first, and that's really cool. I'm really happy to see that he found that.
Yeah.
But it is that's definitely great that you decided to drop a line there to us, Mr. Keebler. Your ears should be burning. We were talking about you last week and this week.
Yeah. Do you have to go? Are you getting arrested?
Again, darn it.
Damn it. They keep finding you.
No, it must be somebody requiring an ambulance. It's not for me.
Oh, all right. As long as it ain't you.
Yeah.
So
well,
Mr. K is still okay and ready to dig.
The archives later.
All right.
When I get home, I'll listen to it in the archives. And in the meantime, you guys have a great night.
Well, you too, sir.
Pardon me?
I said, you too, sir. You have a wonderful night as well, and good luck on the future hunts. You do very well.
Okay, Josh. All right, Josh. Thanks.
We'll see ya. Oh, my. Okay, Jay, we've got another caller coming through.
Yeah, okay, goody. Another stealth digger?
I don't know. Go ahead, caller. You're on with myself and Jay Mo, the NH Treasure Hunter, beyond sight and sound.
Well, first of all, we want to say that we can't wait to get an autograph, because as soon as we heard that J-Mo was on, we started to applaud. So, Jay, when you...
I know.
So, Jay, all those people that were applauding, two of them were us.
Oh, man, it's Bill and Bob, East Coast Treasure Hunters. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. Good to hear your voice live.
Yeah, we heard that Jay was on, so we figured we'd call up and say that we're big fans of his videos and wanted to support him there. Him and his diggers.
Well,
Thank you very much.
Jay, how you doing, buddy?
I'm excellent. How are you? Like it Bill or Bob?
You got us both. Yeah, we're both on.
All right.
Wow, it's a 2-for-1.
Two callers at once. Look at me.
Yeah, we're really multitasking tonight.
Yeah.
I'm doing great, guys. How you doing?
We're doing good. We just watched your last video. That ring was an epic find. So, kudos.
Oh yeah.
Very, very nice.
Thank you.
And it looked like you guys had a great time. So, but
it's always a good time when I go out with those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see how you could not have a good time going out with them. There is no bad day out with them, it seems like.
Did you watch the whole video?
We cut the video off to call you. So we got all the way up to you finding the ring, the spinner ring, which we were we were happy to hear that it was a spinner ring, but that was an impressive find. And,
that thing's just honking huge.
Yeah, and we then we saw that you were going to be on the show, so we figured, you know what, we're going to switch over, stop the video, switch over, listen to the show, and decided to call in.
Well, you got to watch the rest of the video. There's a surprise ending.
Oh, is there?
Well,
okay.
I may have farted on camera.
Oh my God. That's great. Yeah, that'll make me want to jump back in there and watch that.
Don't tell anybody, though. I'm kind of embarrassed about it.
So did you tell everybody on the hunt what kind of... You did. You told everybody what kind of cigars you had. So are you sure that button wasn't planted? Just curious.
I don't know. I mean, Bob's not really a cigar smoker, but I mean, the possibilities are endless. He could have planted it just so he could get my prize cigar.
Yeah, we're thinking, because the incentive of the happy ending wouldn't have come right from him. So we were wondering if the button was planted, but it was a good video. We started to enjoy it. We're gonna jump right back to it as soon as we hang up. But we just wanted to call and give our support and say that we appreciate you putting videos up there, buddy, and we always enjoy a good new video from our friend J-Mo, who's changed his name, but we refuse to call him by his new name. It's always going to be J-Mo.
That's what I've
I'm
always
J-Mo.
referred to him as.
I'm still J-Mo. The channel is NH Treasure Hunter. But hey, Bill and Bob, I want to thank you guys for coming back to the scene. We missed you guys while you were gone. I know there was a bunch of stuff going on your end over there, and you know, the rest of the community may never ever find out the real story. But I'm glad you guys are back, and I appreciate all your videos. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, good to be back. Yeah, we're happy to be back, and you can see we're trying to get as many videos as we can up there. It's been pretty busy. We're still, you know, pretty swamped, but we're trying to hit as many videos as we can a week. So hopefully you'll see another one come up this week. But we're calling for you, buddy. So we appreciate you, and we hope to see those videos coming, more and more, because you make some great videos, and we do also like the format. Your format is unusual. It's different. It's a nice switch up. So we appreciate.
Yes, it's a fresh change of pace.
Yeah. And Josh, we appreciate you having a radio station so that we have the chance to all jump in here and talk to everybody.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed doing it to speak to other hunters around the country, and you just never know what sort of content you're able to provide to people that way, to where they may look at things in a different perspective themselves, and it could wind up ultimately making them a better hunter.
Yeah, we totally agree. Well, the sirens were actually for me and Bill, so I'm gonna I'm gonna go in.
You gotta go.
Yeah, I'm gonna start raising money to bail Bill out, but
do we have to open up a PayPal account to get some bail money for you guys?
If you don't mind, we appreciate it.
I'm on it, brother.
All right, thanks, man.
You guys have a good night.
All right, have a good night, guys. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for calling in, Bill and Bob. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Well, it looks like
those guys are a trip.
It looks like you definitely have a good support group, Jay.
Well, I mean, I never went out to do this kind of stuff and put up my videos to be the glory hound and make friends and all that stuff. I love all my subscribers and all my friends. I've made a lot of good friends along the way, but that is the whole point of it. I didn't come out to do this stuff. I didn't I didn't come out with the sole purpose of saying, hey, I'm going to meet this guy, I'm going to meet that guy, it's going to be so great and all this other stuff. I just did what I do, and people liked it. And, those guys have some great videos as well. Bill and Bob, they're funny as hell. They have the advantage of always going out as a team, well, because they're twins, but they always go out together, and they get to play banter off of each other, which is another reason I love going out with Charlie and the boys, because I can play off of them and they can play off of me.
Oh, absolutely. The mood is just electric.
Yeah. When I'm out by myself, I love hunting by myself. I love my solitude. I love my my time by myself out there doing what I do and making my little videos or whatever. But I don't always have someone to to play off of and banter off of with different stuff like that. So that was the other reason that I started doing the videos, is because I wanted to share my finds. And my mom's very enthusiastic about the hobby as well, so it was always fun to share my stuff with her. But I also wanted everybody else, out there to see, hey, look what I found. This is cool. Or, more to the point, some of the times it was, hey, look what I found. What the hell is this? And you can get answers to your questions, and it's really informative, and I just love it.
We've got another caller here, Jay. Go ahead, caller. You're on with myself and Jay Mo.
How's it going, guys? How's it going, Mr. J?
Good. How you doing?
All right. This is Kevin Strahan. I'm gonna ask the question, then I'm gonna go ahead and hang up. What is your best find on film and your best find that you didn't get to film?
Oh, my best find on film would have to be the 1943 Walking Liberty $50 that I found in a cornfield right here in my hometown. It was not only my first silver find, it was my first big silver, And I just completely lost my mind and went into full retard mode when I found that thing. And, I mean, I've got it in a little protector hidden up in my cabinet now, and I take it out every now and then. I still look at it. But all in all, I mean, I know, there's guys out there that have found dozens of these things, but to this date, that has to be, in my mind, my probably most exciting find that I've ever dug. As far as something that I've dug that I didn't get on film, well, it would have to be the 1907 Indian head penny, which was one of my first significant finds. I wasn't doing videos on YouTube at the time.
Right, good point.
I found it in the backyard of the yard I grew up in. My parents still live there.
Okay. Well, does that answer the question pretty well for you there, Kevin?
Yes, sir. And of course, another great show. I'm gonna hang up so let some other people call.
All right. Thanks for calling, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Mr. Kevin Strahan, another regular listener.
Oh, good. I recognize the name. I don't know if he's a subscriber or a commenter on mine, but I think I may have seen him on other people's comments. I try to read all the comments on everybody's videos.
You may recognize him from YouTube under the name of KS Hollywood.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I've seen a couple of his videos, yeah.
There you go. That is KS Hollywood from YouTube.
Cool.
He also goes by KS Hollywood on some of the metal detecting forums as well.
Oh, okay.
Relic Hunter from Mississippi.
Mississippi, yeah, they got some good history down there, too.
Oh, yes, they do.
A lot of Civil War stuff that we can't find up here.
Right. Now, with that ring you found over the weekend, did you happen to weigh that thing? Because that thing has got to be a heavy piece.
You know what? I haven't. I don't have. I have yet to purchase a scale. I've yet to have a need to purchase a small scale like that. So
Right.
I have not weighed it. I do plan to one day, but I just don't have a scale right now.
You're not going to believe this, Jay, but we've got another caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on with myself and Jay Mo, Beyond Sight Sound.
I got a question for J-Mo. I'm a fellow New Hampshire hunter.
Okay,
Hey, how you
who do
doing?
we have?
My question is what is your favorite site to hit? Is it a farm field? Is it a plowed field? Is it private property? What's your favorite place to hit?
Well, recently, I would have to say that up until, about a month ago, my favorite sites were basically, retired farm fields or even working farm fields just in my local area. And I seem to have found quite a bit of stuff in those. But more recently, my mom got us a permission at an American Legion post, probably half hour, 45 minutes away from home. And that has proven to be, to date, my favorite site. That's where I found my 1937 large cent, a handful of mercury dimes, buffalo nickels, and stuff like that.
Now, what part of New Hampshire are you from, J-Mo?
I'm in Derry, right between Concord and
Derry.
Manchester. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm in Swansea, and that's kind of what I was curious about, because I've had really good luck in my area. I was just curious where your best finds come from in your area.
Yeah, basically it's been all the old, around here it's just old farm fields and, out with Charlie and the fellow self diggers, we've been hitting a lot of cellar holes.
And I know Keebler quite well.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
And he's from my area. He's in the Swansea,
right.
Jaffrey, Ringe area.
Yeah, that's where I've been the last few weekends, out with Charlie and the boys out near Swansea and Jaffrey and all that.
Well, if you're ever interested, just give me a message at some point, and I've got some local permissions from some 1700s house sites that are in my area, but they're not available till fall because I don't want their lawns ruined.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't even know who I'm talking to.
Swansea
You're talking
Searcher.
to Swansea Searcher.
Swansea Searcher, all right, yeah, absolutely. That sounds like
And I'm
fun.
subscribed to your videos and everything else, which I love your formats. I love your videos. Every time they upload, I'm sure to watch them.
Well, if you start commenting, I can talk to you.
I don't comment because I don't post videos. That's my thing.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
But he can find you through YouTube then to get a message to you?
Exactly, yep. He can do that too, or he can just, even through 1,000 miles, he can always send me a message.
Oh, good,
okay.
Cool. All right.
Awesome.
It was great talking to you. I was just curious about what your best luck has come through for your parts, and you're not that far, so.
No, not at all.
Well, we certainly appreciate the call, Swansea.
Show.
Well, thank you. You have a good night.
You too.
Thanks for calling in.
Man. The calls are just coming in and coming in.
I'm a popular guy.
I guess. But, hey, that's all right. We'll take it and be glad for it. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Are you a metal detecting enthusiast looking for a new machine? Maybe you're just getting started in the hobby and you're not sure what machine to get. Get down to earth and into the dirt. Contact Mike, the Buckeye Hunter of MT Detector Sales. Mike is an authorized multi-line dealer of MineLab, Garrett, Technetics, and Tesoro. Don't deal with someone who may not even hunt. Mike sells what works and uses the brands he sells, specializing in such models as the MineLab E-Track, CTX 3030, Garrett AT Pro, and Tesoro Outlaw. Get down to earth and into the dirt with MT Detector Sales. MTDetectorsales.com.
All right. Now,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask earlier in the show, and I figured, well, we'll wait until later on into it. Charlie wanted me to ask you to explain the blue silly putty arm.
You know what? I honestly can't explain it. I have to this moment, I have no idea what that was or where it came from. You know, we showed up at our first site of the day, and you know, we were out there for probably half hour, 45 minutes, and we got back to the Keebler mobile, to pack up and go to our next site that Mr. Keebler had gotten a phone call on, and we thought we had a good permission. So we started packing up, and I looked down at my left forearm, and you know, there's this blue and orange sort of transfer of some kind of ink off of something, and I have no idea where it came from. Not a clue. It's a mystery.
So it's just one of those things. It's like, well, I don't know, deal with it and move on. On to the next find.
Yeah, I mean, we searched around the van to find something that had the same pattern on it, you know, some sort of ink that would have transferred. It almost looked like I was holding a newspaper under my arm while I was sweating for, you know, a little bit of time, but I didn't hold anything under my arm. I didn't have anything that I could relate to that, you know, particular print that transferred to my arm, and apparently now I'm the human silly putty.
Now, being up there in New Hampshire like you are, you're doing a lot of woods hunting lately, it seems like. Have you noticed much of an issue with ticks or anything?
Yeah, actually, more towards the beginning of the season, I'd gone out on a quick 4-hour hunt, you know, just to scope out this new section of land on some conservation property in my town. And when I got home, one of my routines is to, you know, disrobe and change my clothes, get a shower and all that stuff, and, you know, wash the day's filth off. And at that time, I had 4 ticks. You know, I had like one on my back, one on my hair, one on my leg, and one on my arm. You know, so that's 1 tick per hour. But, you know, the biggest, probably the biggest problem we have out in the woods around here is the frickin' mosquitoes. They're just horrendous.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I did have some ticks. You know, I like to pride myself on, you know, being a little bit careful as far as that stuff goes with Lyme disease and all that. But,
oh, yeah, especially with the ticks, you've got to, because that stuff's no fun to mess with from what I hear.
Right. And I don't want to get it, you know, so. But, I mean, on the norm, I'd say out of every 3 hunts, I probably get 1 or 2 that I'll find either on my lap or on my arm, and just, you know, flick it away and, you know, check myself real good when I get home and stuff. But that one day with a 4-hour hunt with 4 ticks, that was probably the worst one.
Wow. Well, at least it's not being real terribly bad for you then, and you're dealing with it.
Well, we had up here. I don't know what you had for a winter, but we had a pretty brutal winter.
We did
this
too.
Past one. Yeah, so we had a lot of good, kill off, being with the sub-zero temperatures, sub-freezing temperatures and stuff like that, which is, pretty good to help keep the insect population in control. But when you're out in the woods up here, one of the major things that we have to deal with is, ticks and mosquitoes, and inevitably you always come across a tick, somewhere on your body, either on your leg or whatever. You just gotta, you gotta prepare for it. Spray yourself down with some good bug spray, some good DEET, And
I hear Sawyer works very well for that.
What is it?
Sawyer.
Oh, I don't know.
It's a treatment that you actually spray your clothing with, though, that apparently they die on contact.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. I'll have to look into that one.
Yeah, it's some pretty heavy duty stuff. I mean, it's like $10 a bottle, but that'll treat a couple of outfits, I guess. And it lasts. It apparently is so strong, in fact, that it'll last through 3 or 4 washings before you have to retreat it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I've been using, basically, I've just been buying it at the, off the camping section at the local department store, and I was able to find one fairly inexpensive in a little pen-style pump sprayer, and it's like 99.7% DEET. And that's been working really good. It doesn't stop them from buzzing around your head and around your face. They still try. They just don't get to the point where they land on you and bite you. Right. They still try to invade that personal bubble, so to speak, but they're not attacking necessarily. Yeah. They do. They try and buzz around your ear holes and get behind your sunglasses if you're wearing glasses or whatever, and try and get in your eyes and all that crazy stuff. The only spot you don't have the bug spray. Right. Well, speaking of your best find on video and your best find off of video, I'm sure that you've still got a list of items that you'd love to find. What is that, like the big coup de grace for J-Mo? What's that big item that it really just, once in a lifetime find, he finds it and it's just on cloud 9? Well, I mean, obviously there's the gold coin thing. Everybody that's ever done this hobby for more than a day is after that gold coin find, and I never expect to actually find one, but that's high up on the list, Right. But other than that, I mean, I found quite a few things that were on my bucket list. But I still have quite a few things. I'd love to find a Morgan silver dollar. I'd love to find. I found every nickel that the United States has ever made. So I would love to find like a half dime, which is what we had, before we actually had a nickel. Right. That would be a nice find. Yeah, and of course I'm not a coin shooter per se, but as far as relics go, I can't really. I mean, I've found pretty much all the common relics that we find around these areas. Horseshoes and ox shoes, harmonica reeds, crotal bells. I've found all those things. I love finding them over and over again. I get a thrill out of it every time. But for me personally, I think the best relic that I could find, and I can't really tell you what it is because I haven't found it yet, but it would have to be a personalized or monogrammed or something with the original property owner's name on it, that I could actually physically prove that was in their possession at one point. It wouldn't matter. Something with a more personal sentiment to it. Yeah, if I'm at a an old farm that Mr. Smith owned, and I found just a steel plaque that was hanging on his door somewhere that said Smith on it. That to me would be the ultimate rush.
Right. It truly is stepping back through that doorway, so to speak, and contacting the past at that point.
Yeah. Nobody, this item hasn't seen the light of day since the day it was dropped, 150, 200 years ago, and I just unearthed it, and I can go into the archives, into somebody's history or whatever, and find a picture of the human being that held this item last, most likely held it last in their hand.
Right. And for a lot of us, that's really what it boils down to, is, the chase of the history and being able to preserve that history, recover it out of the ground, so it's not lost to the elements or development or anything like that.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
So with that in mind, you are primarily a relic hunter, and I am under the assumption that you're not necessarily concerned with the monetary value of your finds. Then you're going out, you're finding these items, they hold a special value to you, and that's where they stay for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some people comment on my videos where I'll get real excited about finding a cool flat button or a big old dandy button the size of a silver dollar, and I find more provable history in that item than I do a datable coin.
Right.
Like at that American Legion site, I found it in 1937 large cent, which is my first large.
Which was a nice find.
It's in beautiful condition. It was a great find, and something that old, yes, it does help date the property, but my scenario is, you take any coin you find, I don't really care how old it is or where you found it, you can pretty much guarantee that coin could have been in circulation for up to 50 years and traded hands with, 50,000 people, who knows,
Right.
But that button fell off of the shirt of the guy that was wearing it at the time. You know what I mean?
Right. That's a very good point. It brings it down to a more personal level in a sense where, this coin may have been his, but it was Joe's and John's and everyone else's too.
Right.
But this button was on his shirt. That's where it was. That's all the further it went.
Yep. That morning when he got dressed and he put his thumbprint right on that button and stuffed it through the buttonhole, and then he went out and worked the fields or, was trimming the hedges in the front yard or whatever, and boop, it popped off, and, he didn't even notice it till he got home for dinner that night, and it sat there for, like I said, it sat there for up to 200 years or even more. I found the insides of a shoe buckle that one of my subscribers was confident. He's a real knowledgeable guy in New England history, and he was able to confirm that it was anywhere from 1720 to 1760 that this particular shoe buckle, was used on some of these settlers' leather shoes.
Right.
And to me that has more personal connection, knowing that he was behind an oxen, pulling a plow, and he's trying to work it through this soil, and he pushed the wrong way and popped that buckle right off of his shoe, and there it sat.
Exactly. That's a very good point. Definitely a very good point. So you are, in fact, very, very passionate about the hobby, even though you've only been in it just a few years, and it looks like there's no signs of you stopping.
No, not anytime soon. No, not that I can see. There's way too many things that I haven't found yet. Most of them I don't even know what they are yet until I find it. I want to keep on digging until I find that thing that I've never found.
Right. That's a good point.
You just never know what it is until you find it.
Exactly. and then it's on to the next. A lot of times I like to use not only the buckles and buttons, but even the nails and shotgun shell heads to help date the properties too.
Yeah, yeah.
All of that stuff can help.
Yeah, because, I mean, shotgun shells and buttons, they don't get circulated through the population of the local area like a coin does.
Exactly.
You know, I do like finding silver coins, obviously, anybody would. You know,
oh, yeah.
But as far as the historical value, I think there's more historical value in a button, which, you know, seems to be the latest theme of most of my videos the past, you know, half a dozen hunts. And, you know,
the Button Kings.
The Button King, yeah, we've been trading off back and forth between me and Charlie, and, you know, most recently Bobby found a great looking eagle button at that first site we went to this past weekend. But, you know, it's the buttons that a lot of people that you know, they're either down in Florida or on the coast of California, and, you know, they're digging, you know, silver and gold diamond rings and, you know, modern clad and stuff like that to add to their stack and cash it in or whatever. And that's all great because that's what they have, you know.
Right.
And I know, I'm sure there's some of them out there going, it's just a freaking button, dude, you know. But I'm looking at it going, no, it's not just a button. This was someone's.
Yeah, exactly. It may be just a button to you, but to me it's very special.
Yep, exactly.
Certainly nothing wrong with that. Well, we're getting close to the end of our rope there. Would you like to let the listeners know where they can find you?
Yeah, you can. I'm pretty much only on YouTube. I don't do the Facebook. I don't do the whatever the heck it is. But for the most part, if you go to NH Treasure Hunter, all one word, on YouTube, you can find my videos, and you can correspond with me by commenting on those or sending me a PM.
And he's got some very good videos up there, folks. He's done a great job with them. They're very entertaining to watch, and they've even got some good content at times, especially when he's doing his DIYs, his electrolysis, his modifications, his diggers. It's something to check out. At least drop in and, you know, subscribe, check out the videos, leave a comment or two, let him know you're watching. It's very interesting. And, you know, hey, while you're on YouTube anyway, check out Ohio Metal Detecting by String Frenzy. There's, you know, a couple of decent videos on there. We're trying to do a little more with them.
Yeah. I noticed you slowed down a little bit, but you know, from the String Frenzy days. But I do enjoy, you know, the Ohio Metal Detecting videos as well. I find some great knowledge and history in those.
Yeah, lately my whole thing has been trying to get it to upload because YouTube is kind of slow with it for some reason. And then they always want to tell you, well, we detected your video was shaky, or, you know, this or that or the other. And it's like, yeah, no kidding. I know it is. I know it's out of focus. The camera's not wanting to cooperate.
That's right, yeah.
Some things just can't be helped. No. But, folks, that was J Mo, NH Treasure Hunter on YouTube. Great guy to talk to, and I certainly appreciate him dropping in. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and chat with all of us tonight, Jay. It's been very entertaining and good guy to talk to.
Well, thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say thank you, Josh, for having me on your program. I wasn't really a big listener at the time because like I said, I've got so much other stuff going on with work and house and family and everything. But thank you for having me on. I'd like to thank everybody that called in to ask me any questions, and anybody and everybody that comes and checks out my channel and subscribes. Thank you very much.
That's a very good point, too. Hang in there with us, Jay, and we'll roll out of here in a few minutes. Like Jay said himself, we want to thank all the listeners who tuned in. We appreciate you all, especially the people who called in. It was really great to hear from everyone. Jay's got quite a support group out there, or fan base, so to speak. It was really nice to see the support pitched in to call in and say hi to him and all of that. if you all enjoyed the show, be sure and click the pink hands, like the show, maybe rate the channel, something like that. Check out the Facebook group, Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound. NH Treasure Hunter on YouTube. Ohio Metal Detecting by String Frenzy on YouTube. And Stealth Diggers on YouTube. Check them out. Check out their Facebook group of Stealth Diggers. Other than that, I mean, what can you say, folks? It's been a great time tonight. Jay was great to talk to. And, you know, enjoy the hobby. Stay persistent. Get out there. Make some finds. And like Jay says himself, swing, beat, dig.
Beat, dig. That's right.
That's the way to do it. We appreciate everyone for tuning in. Tune in next week and see what we've got in store as we run a show and then head out the door for Chicago and Detectapalooza 2014. Pull tabs, beware. We appreciate everyone for tuning in. It's time to roll. We'll see you, folks.
Thanks, Josh.